Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us for the PHNX Suns pregame show brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you know whenever we are live.
Why is the more
I'm Lindsay
furniture
Smith.
eating Lindsay?
AKA Wilson. That's Saul Bookman. That's Gerald Bourget. And that's Espo. How you guys doing today?
Hi, Lindsay. How are you doing today?
Shit. It's a Saturday afternoon, isn't it? Because we're a little slap happy.
Yeah,
here.
Lindsay said she couldn't hear us, so I wanted to make sure.
I really am struggling
and
to hear
clear.
you guys today. I don't know if it's the new beanie I got or what's going
Soundproof.
on, but
She's
Soundproof
covering her ears with
She
it.
forgot she put earplugs in her
the
ears.
struggle bus is real.
You got that. I got this mic that's got a mind of its own.
Maybe it
Oh,
needs
no.
some Roman.
Hopefully, the
No,
Suns
it's looking up. So
are much more put together, much more prepared for this game in Motor City. Tonight, they'll be taking on the Detroit Pistons. What do you guys think the key to tonight's game is?
Winning.
showing up. It's Detroit, and Detroit was supposed to be bad with all their pieces this year, and they have a bunch of injuries. I think it's as simple as keep up some energy tonight. It'll be nice that they have Cam Johnson back, who can help with that on the back end or tail end of a back-to-back. Use that energy and excitement from last night beating the Celtics. Let it carry over. Don't let yourself play with your food tonight.
They already struggled with the Pistons earlier this year, so you can't repeat that today. Because if you do, you fuck around and lose.
Yeah.
And this is a big game. Every game's big, but this one is supposed to be quote unquote an easy one. So Cam Johnson, you owe us 40 fucking points.
40 points.
40.
Good Lord.
I want a 40 burger.
Yeah, I mean, they lost this team back in November, so it would be nice to see them come out and play like they remember that. This team has always been pretty good about remembering the losses and bringing the energy accordingly next time. A little bit tougher on the second night of a back-to-back, but they played really well last night, so I'm hoping that we don't see a let-up from a lot of the things we saw last night. Mikal Bridges has been playing great. Chris Paul had a bounce-back night after the Hawks let-down game, and DA's defense has been really good in the last one or two games, so hope to see that continue here tonight.
I take umbrage with Ryan Russillo right now, but I'll get into that in the post game.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Just a reminder to join us back here after the game wraps up for the post-game show. I think the biggest thing is just not underestimating what the Pistons can do, right? They're not a great team this season, but like you said, Gerald, they can beat you.
Mhm.
If you don't show up and play the way that you're supposed to play, it's still an NBA team and they can absolutely beat you. So I think as long as you come with the right mindset and respect for what the Pistons can actually do, then they'll be okay.
Well,
Yeah.
and I feel like they've got extra motivation with who's sitting courtside.
Yeah.
A man who may be deciding their fate, whether they're dealt or not here in the near future, and Matt Ishbia. So I would hope that they'd want to show out for the new owner. out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You think players think about those kind of things
Yes.
when they see the owner?
Yes.
Especially people who
100%.
are like in the rumors and all like maybe on the fringe too. Of course.
To be fair right now, everybody's in the rumors except for Booker.
Fair. Well, that's still even more of a reason to come and show out in front of your new boss.
Yeah, and you don't think Cam Johnson's going, I want to show out in front of this guy because he's going to decide whether I'm getting paid, how much I'm getting paid this offseason or not.
So are you going to conspiracy theory this and say that that's the reason why he sat out last night? So he
Yes.
can show off?
I mean, we
in
already
front
know
of
that.
HBO?
I mean, the tinfoil
So
hat points
selfish,
directly
Cam.
at that. It's Detroit. Ishbia is going to be there. I'm playing then. Screw Boston.
And this time he brought the whole family with him,
He did.
from what I could see, or at least some of the family, where I think when he was here in Phoenix, it was just him, right?
Yeah, him sitting next to Sam Garvin. So he's upgraded who he's sitting with tonight. He's sitting with his kids, the little ishes.
So this is getting really real. If the rumors, like we said, if the rumors are correct, he should be introduced as the official new owner of the Phoenix Suns and Mercury on Wednesday, which is coming up very quickly, as is the trade deadline. And of course, there's always going to be so many rumors day in and day out, and we'll get into that here shortly. But first, let's look at the injury report for tonight's game. For the Suns, Devin Booker, Cam Payne, and Landry Shamet all remain out. Cam Johnson will play tonight. He was out last night just from an injury management standpoint. We might see limited minutes from him, but he will be playing. On the Pistons side of things, Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley III, and Corey Joseph are all out as well. So we did get a nugget from Dwayne Rankin of AZ Central yesterday on Twitter. He shared that Cam Payne, quote, continues progressing and will be reevaluated in a week. So next Friday, we'll get another update on Cam Payne. Gerald, what have you kind of heard or seen as far as Cam Payne goes?
Yeah, all we've continued to hear is that he's continuing to progress, and we haven't seen much of him on the court when we've been let in for practices or shoot-arounds or whatnot. Not long ago, we saw him wearing a boot on his right foot, but that boot recently came off within the last week. So hopefully that's a good sign, but we haven't really gotten substantial updates on how he's progressing outside of that.
They always say, oh, he's progressing. He's progressing. You mean he lived from Monday to Tuesday? That's the only progression that I've seen so far. Like, what are we talking about in terms of progression? Because it didn't look like it was like a really bad injury. It looked like he just kind of jammed his foot. However you can do that. But maybe he had something way more severe than we even realized and that they're even letting on. Because I just can't imagine somebody sitting out for, what's it been, 3 weeks, 4 weeks now?
Yeah, he had that foot injury and he came back and he re-aggravated it. So I think that's probably what.
Is it gout?
Jesus. Now that Chris Paul's of the age that you might get down.
Oh my
But
God.
I love the fact that we lead the league in guys missing games due to soreness.
Yes.
I mean,
Very sore.
When have you ever seen soreness this often on an injury report?
And it's the 50th game of the season. Of course you're gonna be sore. Like, it's just what it is. But the science.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cam
science.
Payne's is the right foot sprain, but yeah, Landry Shamet's the foot soreness. So
And Chris Paul's been soreness for 90%
his
of
was
his
heel
missed
soreness,
games.
and then it was
I didn't realize-
hip soreness.
I didn't realize soreness was a reason to miss work.
I'm going to
I've
be
been
sore.
missing
You and I are never coming back
I'm going to
in.
be
We're out.
sore for the next 2 weeks as well.
At one point, wasn't Cam Payne soreness
It was
though,
at one
originally?
point,
Yeah,
but this
like-
most recent absence
is
has
the
been the sprain. Yeah.
So I thought this tweet was really interesting. Kellen Olson gave us he did the math for how many games have been missed for all of these guys. So Devin has missed 26 of the last 29 games. Cam Payne has missed 24 of the last 26 games. And Landry Shamet has missed 15 of the last 20 games.
Oh.
Which I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't feel like it's been that many for me. Like, I don't know if it's just gone by so quickly or we've had so many games, because we've had a lot of weeks with 4 games in a week recently, if it just seems like it's piling on more, but that's kind of a lot of games.
What it is only one of those 3 guys you're really missing. So,
But
that's
even
what it
Devin,
is.
26 games. Like, if you would have asked me before the show how many games you think Devin missed, I'd have been like, I don't know, 15.
Yeah, but I mean, he went out on Christmas. You think we're like that?
I think that's
and
a
before
personal
that,
problem, to be honest, Espo.
The beanie's too tight, is what you're saying?
I think it's just everything gets jammed into everything was last week. Christmas
Fair
was
enough.
last week.
It does feel like Landry Shamet dropped 31 like 10 years ago. So
That felt like a long time ago.
It does feel like a long time ago. It's
been-
too bad.
It's been a while
too
since
bad.
we've had optimism. so
Bailey
I would
also
have
has
to-
a good point in the chat. Winning helps. It does. It doesn't
It
feel
definitely
as
does.
bad anymore. It doesn't feel like it's
True.
we're so desperate for Devin to come back because we've been winning a lot more in the last couple of weeks. All right. What are
real quick? Can I point out a comment in the chat
Of
that I think I
course.
love? I forgot who said it. But they said all 4 of your outfits are an exact replica, or nothing says Arizona weather more than the 4 of your outfits. You got a beanie, he's got a hoodie, he's just dressed normal. I got shorts on. Like, yeah, we live in a fucking awesome state. You can dress however you want to. It's
pretty great.
Pretty dope.
that's
I
hilarious.
regretted the hoodie today.
I was
just
gonna
gonna
say,
say
it's a little warm.
it was hot.
A little toasty.
A little warm for a
It
hoodie.
was a little warm today, I'm not gonna lie. And that was Randy. Randy, thank you for your comment. But I'll be honest with you, I will wear a beanie year round.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know.
Summertime,
Yeah.
Vegas, Summer League, rocking a beanie. It's a part of the brand now, people. It
Fun
just is.
fact: Lindsay's bald. She just had that hair stapled into the sides
Oh,
of the beanie.
okay.
So-
Oh, man.
It's
Jesus.
just a chat.
Also, where's Amelia? I literally am drinking Big Red because of Amelia today.
Oh, well, hopefully she'll be here in the post-game show.
I would. I pump that shit into my veins.
Espo, what are the guys wearing tonight?
This is one of the few times that I am highly disappointed
Tragic.
in what we're wearing. This could have been an all-time uniform matchup, a throwback of epic proportions, but the Suns are wearing the Association Edition white jerseys, while the Pistons wear their teal. And I checked on this. The Suns did ask if they could wear their throwback purple. Not allowed. For some reason, purple versus teal, too much of a clashing color matchup, but they will wear the purple throwbacks the next 2
That's
years.
such a
so
miss
mad.
by the NBA.
So mad.
We should have worn our turquoise.
Yeah, there would have been no confusion.
Turquoise
there.
versus teal. I'm here for it. There she is.
I'm
Look,
so bummed.
Look, I don't. What were they afraid of? There's no confusion between purple and teal. Nobody's gonna go, oh, I thought that was purple that I
Right.
threw it to, and he's wearing
Maybe
teal.
just because they're both quote unquote dark colors.
They're very different dark colors.
I
Like,
agree, but
I'm upset.
It
I
would've
wanted
been
this as
such a
soon as they
beautiful
announced they were
matchup.
It was a
bringing back
very
the
big
Pistons.
missed
The
opportunity.
Pistons
for sure.
jerseys look like if you took a Suns jersey and just raked it across the ground and then put it on a player.
Can we see that
No.
one more time, Emma?
No,
Can we
no,
see their
no.
jerseys?
They're darker.
What?
Oh, the
you mean
color.
you mean
I thought you meant the design. I thought that was a
No.
dig.
No.
Okay.
I like these jerseys for the Pistons a
Yeah.
lot.
They're all timers.
I think these ones are pretty solid.
I like them, but I don't understand the teal for Pistons. It was a very 90s.
Oh, it was
We're just going
fantastic.
for it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But red and blue has always been the Pistons.
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
back when they were the Fort Wayne
And
Pistons,
those
they were red and
uniforms
blue.
were boring as shit.
Well, I would like a combination of
I mean,
the blue and red with that horse piston
That'd be
logo.
cool.
That'd be fun,
like a
I
modern
love
take.
it. It just doesn't feel like the Pistons when you have the teal. So
I don't know. I'm here for it.
I mean, it reminds me of prime Grant Hill.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
and Grant Hill Sprite commercials
Yep.
and all that. So.
I would pick
hesitation
teal over
crossover
red and
just-
blue 100% of the time.
Well, I would too, but I'm just saying it's such an outlier in Pistons history. It was such a small point, and blue and red is just what you think of.
Yeah.
That's fair. We did get a super chat from HM. HM, thank you so much for your super chat. They sent us a guy making a heart emoji with his hands
Aw.
at us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate you,
Espo's
HM.
the only one that doesn't have a heart.
Hearts
Look
back.
at that.
Hearts back to you
Hey.
guys. Oh, we should screenshot that. How cute. All right, guys. Who you guys got tonight and by how much?
I got the Suns by 6. I think this one, maybe I would have gone higher if I'd have realized the Pistons are also on the second night of a back-to-back. But yeah, I'll say 6.
At the time I made my choice, the line was 4.5, so that's why I took Suns by 5.
Okay.
Really? Because when I picked mine, the line was 6. So that's why I went with 7.
When I picked mine, the line I went with 4. So
You went with 4. Are you guys thinking, so Gerald, you said, had you realized the Pistons were also on the tail end of a back-to-back, you would have gone higher with the Suns. Do you feel like this is the lower threshold of a Suns win is because of the back-to-back or because you anticipate a really big lead in clearing the bench late in the game?
It's because I think it could be that, but I also think it's like second night of a back-to-back and the fact that this team kind of plays with their food sometimes. And, getting Cam Johnson back should provide a boost to kind of counteract that a little bit, but we'll see how long he plays tonight. Only played 15 minutes the other night. Obviously, it was a blowout in the fourth quarter, so he probably would have played more. But I am keeping an eye on his minutes, and I do think this is a game that maybe the Suns are up by like double digits and the Pistons whittle it down in the last minute or so.
I feel like the Drake meme. Lindsay was talking, I'm like this. Gerald's talking, I'm like, yeah, it's the playing with their food, all right? It's the playing with their food why I'm at 4. So
Damn, he burned Lindsay. That was
I
mean.
know. Just wait, Espo. Eventually my brain will catch up and I'll have a zinger right back
I
at
would
you.
come over that laptop.
I was just proud that I knew a Drake reference.
That is
I mean,
pretty
come on.
All right, so Boosty has Suns by 14. Howard has Suns by 2. Midge, Suns by 12. Mike, Suns by 6. Sunders, Suns by 18.
Okay.
Alex, Suns by 15. And Det has Suns by 17. So the chat, for the most part, has far more faith than we all do here at PHNX. So hopefully the chat is correct tonight. But what does Vegas think now, since we knew that the line has moved a little bit today?
5.
Okay.
Suns is a 5-point favorite.
So they went from 4 to 6 to 5.
They got 5 on it.
What are you putting 5 on, Espo? What's your DraftKings pick of the night?
I'm doubling it. I'm putting 10 on it, and I've got the Pistons first field goal exact 3 at plus 550. Let's go back to the big bets.
Okay.
Really?
I think there's a fat chance of that happening.
Oh,
a
man.
3-pointer by the Pistons right off the bat?
I don't know that I would have picked that one
I
tonight
wouldn't
either,
pick
but
that
I
one either.
appreciate
I got 10 on
I
it.
appreciate your boldness.
I have a parlay.
Okay.
So let's go Suns by 4.5. Cam Johnson over 11.5 points. I felt like that was a pretty safe one.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges PRA of 25 plus, and Torrey Craig a PRA of 15 plus. Torrey Craig's probably the one that I'm most concerned about.
Yeah.
See, so I'm a little bit concerned about, Mikal Bridges, because it's PRA. I feel like you'll be good. I was going to ride Mikal Bridges again tonight with the over on points, but it jumped up to 20.5 from 18.5 last night.
Okay.
And I was like, I kind of feel like Mikal's not going to play his normal amount of minutes
Well,
tonight.
that's why I took the PRA instead.
That's smart. Yeah, because I was like, I don't know. I just don't feel like
Yeah.
it's going to end up being like last week when who did we play? The Hornets?
Yeah.
When Mikal was literally 1 point away from hitting on my bet, but he didn't see any minutes in the last 8 minutes of the game.
Yeah. I thought about taking a parlay that I actually put my own money on tonight. It's Suns by 4.5. And then a double for Chris Paul, double for Mikal Bridges, plus 4,000. I had a free same game parlay. So
That's just throwing money away.
Yeah, you're a little crazy there with that one,
it
Espo.
was free. If I
see,
hit it, I get $410.
That's true. Mark in the chat and I have the same idea here. We both are just taking the money line tonight. Mark said this is one of those games where they will scrape by. So, of course, going back looking at the previous game between the Suns and the Pistons, obviously didn't play out in the way that I think a lot of us anticipated it playing out. I don't know, second night of a back-to-back, plus the fact that you guys also said they play with their food a lot. And then even if they are up big and they clear the bench, I still think the Pistons might be able to close the gap a little bit because I almost took the spread, but the difference was like $3 extra that I would win for the spread versus the money line. And I just didn't think it was really worth it tonight. I went very safe.
Did you use the special offer of if they're up by 10 at any point, you win the money line bet?
Damn,
Did not.
Linz. Damn, Linz.
I actually took that.
Damn, Linz. I even showed you the ropes.
Again, I told you, I just don't really read it that often. Because it's like you have to look for it, and I know where it's at now.
It's right at the top of the screen.
But I always
I took
forget.
that bet on my personal. I wasn't going to do it here.
If you're only going to go money line bet, Linz, you should 1,000,000% always select that because now you have 2 chances to win.
Well, do I get
Nope.
will you let me have it since I
nope.
didn't lie?
We didn't let him have it
you
yesterday.
didn't let me have it
Can't
last
let you have it
night.
today.
We let you have it?
No, you didn't.
You got the 10?
Yes, but he.
But I
bet
put
the
it
money
in
line.
there. But I put it in
What
there.
did we not let Espo have? That was
Yesterday.
but that wasn't Espo literally sent the wrong bet though. He did not click on the toggle to put on the offer.
But we said if you don't put it, yeah. Well, we said if you don't put it in the
Toggle?
chat, then that's that. So you didn't do it. So then you don't get it.
Toggle's more of a verb.
I'm never clicking on any toggles. All right.
Whatever. It was a word that worked at the time for the time being. Anyway,
Is that the
right
thing
now,
at the back of your throat?
DraftKings Sportsbook app. For a limited time, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every day. Just go to DraftKings Sportsbook app today, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA team. And if it doesn't hit, you'll get a free bet back. Again, going back to the whole reading and opting in on things, make sure you guys don't pull what I pulled today and miss out on these offers from DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you have not downloaded it, make sure you download it today, but use code PHNX when you sign up because new customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void in Ohio. See show notes for details. Emma, what is the leaderboard looking like? That's what we really want to know.
I'm going to be leading.
Oh, yeah, she's looking real cute.
I'm going to be leading at the end of this night.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
It's not. There's no chance the Pistons are hitting a 3 to start the game.
I mean, we shall see.
Not a chance.
I feel like I'm sitting pretty, and you guys are on your way back. You're working on it. You're on your way back. I got faith in all of you.
Not this guy.
All right. We have a lot of people asking about Kyrie talk in the chat. If you missed our shows yesterday, both the pregame show and the postgame show, we went very heavily into Kyrie. So if you would like to hear our thoughts on all of those rumors, check out those two videos.
Also, Priscilla Gomez, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but she said, did y'all talk about what Chuck said on the All the Smoke podcast about the Suns? And she says you just turned in late. I have not. Have you guys?
I didn't see that.
So we will check that out, and we will talk about it in postgame if it's worthy of it. How about that?
Yeah.
Also, check out our YouTube shorts. There's 3 other shorts talking about Kyrie and the Suns if you're interested.
All Kyrie all the time from yesterday only.
So many content.
But not anymore.
But not today.
Today, we're going to talk about the latest rumors, some additional ones, some new names that we haven't seen before. So Mark Stein shared in his latest newsletter that Malik Beasley joined him and Crispy Haynes on a recent podcast episode, and within that podcast said Beasley candidly answered all of their trade deadline questions so thoroughly that Atlanta, Cleveland, New York, and Phoenix, according to Beasley himself, are all teams that have registered trade interest in him leading up to Thursday's deadline. Now, Mark also gave us a little nugget in case we missed this one too in his newsletter that Yahoo Sports' Jake Fisher has reported that the Jazz are seeking a first-round pick each for Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and Mike Conley Jr., and that Utah has discussed multiple trade scenarios in which Beasley and Vanderbilt are packaged together. So that's a lot of information there, but that's 3 names now that we haven't heard in a minute.
Does anybody else shudder a little bit when they hear Beasley just because of past trauma with Michael? Like every time I hear Beasley, I'm like, oh yeah, not that one. It's Malik, not Michael. All right.
The other M Beasley.
Yeah.
No, this is good. I was kind of encouraged by the fact that like Malik Beasley, he would be kind of like your Landry Shamet upgrade, I guess. But if Vando is involved and attached to that, I would love that. That's not a big, needle mover, but it does make you a lot better for the playoffs in terms of depth and defensively, rebounding, size at the 4 spot. He can be a small ball 5 if you need him to be that. And Malik Beasley, he's been shooting lights out this season. He's been really good. I do hesitate with him a little bit just because the Suns have not always been great at utilizing off-movement shooters like him. But yeah, we do have a trade that could work and involves another name with the Jazz that we've brought up. So the Suns would get Jordan Clarkson, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. The Jazz would get Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, Landry Shamet as expirings, and then you would tack on first-round picks to make the Jazz happy.
The only thing I hate about this trade is the 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
That's a lot and listen, I love Jared Vanderbilt. I love Malik Beasley. I love Jordan Clarkson. But individually for 3 picks is basically what I'm looking at. The whole trade market's been thrown out of whack because of what happened with Rudy Gobert. I don't know if I would spend a first-round pick on a Jared Vanderbilt. That's just a lot to me.
What if you could get that done with 2 first-round picks instead of 3?
Maybe more inclined to do that, but I don't know if you can because of the salary cap or anything like that.
No, you could with the picks. It's just if Utah would accept it.
Because that bench, with those 3 guys coming off the bench, in addition to Torrey Craig, because Cam Johnson would be starting at that point and Booker would be back. Torrey Craig and then Jock or Busy or whatever. That's a really good bench. And then you throw Campaign in there.
That is a great bench, and people that are bashing on it in the chat don't realize this team's starting 5 is really, really good as it is right now.
We need depth.
They need to get healthy for sure, but if you have depth like that, you cement your place as one of the top teams in the West. It doesn't guarantee you a title like a superstar trade might. And I get not wanting to give up 3 first-round picks, but if you throw protections on the 3rd pick or just take the 3rd pick away altogether, and you're not getting these guys just with expirings. Sorry to tell you, the Jazz have no incentive to do that.
This is the deal.
Yeah.
This is the one that puts you where you need to be. It answers your questions. It gives you depth. I like this more than Kyrie. I like this more than any of the other names, and it keeps your flexibility in the offseason because you could turn around and flip them or flip other pieces on your roster to go get somebody else if you so are inclined, but it uses your expiring contracts exactly the way you need to. Gets you the talent in to help you make a run and potentially win it this year, and give you options in the offseason on what you could do in terms of additional trades. I don't give a crap about these picks. People overvalue these picks, and I don't think you're in play for anything massive anyways with these picks. I want to win a title this year, and I think this gets you the closest to it of any deal I've seen proposed.
Again, it's not about what those picks could mean for the Suns. It's what they represent to every other team in the NBA. They are valuable assets, and if you're just throwing them away on some bench role players, I don't know if I'm on board with that, because then you lose leverage. If, let's just say, in the offseason, we get to the offseason and the Nets do want to trade KD, guess what? You just threw your freaking whole shit at a bunch of role players that cost you KD. I don't know if I'm on board with that.
You're not winning a race for KD because of 3 picks, because you're not going to put Mikal in it. And in the end, that's what they're going to want. And Cam Johnson, isn't going to go in some sign and trade and make them happy there with a bum knee. I don't care about what could potentially happen, 4 months, 5 months from now that we don't know is going to happen. What I care about is putting yourself in a position to win in a very, very weak Western Conference, in a weak league this year, where everybody has a wide open shot right now. Do everything you can to win this year, because I don't think the window is going to be more open than it is right now. There is no dominant team in this league whatsoever, so put yourself in position.
If you're going to sit there and tell me to do everything you possibly can to win this year, then you're going to have to go with the player we don't want to talk about.
No, this makes you a better team than getting Kyrie.
I doubt
makes
that.
You.
I mean, honestly, like, this is the hard part, though, of managing a team, like, for James Jones. And we all, as fans, are also in the same kind of boat as far as talking about these types of trades. When do you go all in?
Yeah.
And when do you say, wait, I need to save a few trips for the future?
Mhm.
Like, that's the balance of trying to figure out what sets you up for success now, and not just success in a season, but a championship, like the ultimate success, without completely devastating your future.
Right.
It's such a tough balance and fine line to navigate, and that's what makes it hard. And I think that's why the chat is even split on this one as well.
I will also say, just I was only going back at Espo's point about KD, because just for argument's sake, right?
Uh-huh.
I firmly believe, and you can put this shit down, you can old takes expose this or whatever the fuck you want to do. There's no way the Suns are getting KD. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen in the offseason. No chance.
I think it's such a fool's errand to sit there and potentially try to sacrifice another summer chasing something that if it happens, take your chance, take your shot. I can sit here and think, oh, what happens 3, 4, 5 years down the line?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, because 5 years ago right now, we were sitting there watching a 19-win team. Never would have thought that you would have been in the finals 2 years later and had a 64-win team. You don't know. So take your chances when you have them, and don't sacrifice them because of what could be.
You got to get them now before the Rockets get Wembanyama and we all don't win.
I will say, Austin in the chat said, man, remember back in the day, like a season ago, 3 first-rounders for role players would be a crazy trade. I hope the trade market kind of auto-corrects itself after the shenanigans that was this past offseason. Like, there needs to be a correction within the market for sure, though.
I'm saying that's a great point. 3 first-rounders for role players. Like, bro, what are we talking about right now?
Well, if you're only giving up expirings, you're not giving them shit in value. Like,
this is fair.
All the players we're giving
3?
them are just. I know, I understand. This is not saying like I think this is the Suns' best offer. This is what I'm saying. This would be the starting point as far as the Jazz would say yes to this. 2, you're pushing it. I don't know if you're going to get away with 2.
What about 2 and a pick swap? Does that make you feel better? Like, I think you're shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic when you're splitting hairs about the picks. Like, if everything plays out right, those picks are 27, 28, 29. and the reality is you don't know what any of that is. Those picks could be totally shit drafts, and it doesn't matter.
It's also difficult to gauge their value because we don't know who's going to be the GM of this franchise
That's fair, too.
a year from now.
No,
like,
that's
will they
fair.
value the draft?
draft?
If
You know?
James Jones is in charge, I don't care. Take the picks.
If you
Yeah.
get Sam Presti in the house, then you're
Then
like,
maybe we
oh,
change
Then
course.
he'll figure out a way to flip all these bench guys and everything else for picks.
Also
There you
true.
go. All I know is Andrew in the chat is spot on. Draft picks are overrated, just like Reese's. And with that, we will say
Oh,
goodbye.
yeah.
No.
Enjoy the
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Don't
No.
forget to
Lose,
meet us
lose,
back
lose,
here
lose.
right after it wraps up. Bye.
PHNX.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey Gerald Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo.